Hey everyone, today I'm going to be taking you through PhotoCRM, showing you what it looks like from a photographer's point of view, also what it looks like from a client's perspective when delivering photos, invoices, and contracts. After signing up for PhotoCRM, you'll be brought to your dashboard. Additionally, there is a menu bar on the left-hand side that you can use to navigate through the site. For the sake of the demo, we'll go through and create a new project. And then in the client information, any clients that you have saved from previous projects, those will already be saved in here. So if you start typing any letters of a client that's already saved, you'll see here that it pops right up. You can click on it and all of that information will be autofilled and linked with that client. Now for the sake of this demo, we'll create a new client. Property information can be auto-selected from the project name. This is useful for a lot of real estate photographers, as oftentimes their project names will be the name of their property. For scheduling, you can go ahead and schedule a shoot date. If the project has a deadline, you can also put that deadline here. So if you're a wedding photographer and you need to show up at, say, 6:00 p.m., you can put that here, and you can set the duration of the actual event itself. If the client comes to you with a budget, you can put that budget in here. And then any services that you're providing for this specific project, you can select here or add a custom service. It's important to note that these services are configurable as defaults inside of the settings page. So if you only do drone photos, you may only need 3 of these tickers by default. You can set those up and they are configurable to your business inside of the settings. So for this one, we'll just do interior photos, exterior photos, and drone photos. These client notes and these project notes are saved inside of the respective client project, and you can create an invoice from here if need be. Now there's a ticker at the top that sends booking confirmation email once you create the project. After saving the project, an email will get sent to the client of the booking confirmation. It'll have the date, time, location, services, and if you have a delivery date, it'll put that in there as well. It also sends a client portal access code, which we'll get more into later. This is where the client would log in to view all of their media, pay their invoices, respond to contracts, and ask any questions that they may have for you. Now back inside of PhotoCRM, what you can do now is if you want to create a contract, you can go ahead and do that here. This will autofill the information from the information put into the project itself. It will pull the client name as well as the photographer's name and email. This name and email is set up inside of the admin as a default, which can be configured based on your business. Now the contract section is totally configurable to your business. Any of these subsections can be modified to fit your business better. You can create a default setting inside of the settings tab as well. So if you want something to have a certain nomenclature, you can go ahead and do that. You can also save these as a default if you make a modification. But we have a template in here that's just a blanket template. Should cover most scenarios that you need when sending a contract. It'll show you a contract preview so you can scroll through it, make sure everything makes sense. Contracted date, all the dates of the shoots, any kind of release notes, cancellation policies. You can modify all of this within the admin, again, to suit your business. Now the client will get a separate email with that contract specifically. They can go ahead and click review and sign contract here, which will take them to the contract itself. They can read the contract, and at the bottom, they can create a signature. They can either draw it or they can type it. After they sign, they'll get a contract sign notification here. Now you'll notice inside of the project itself, it'll say contract awaiting signature, but after the client signs it, if you refresh the page, it'll give you a notification that the photography services agreement has been signed. You can also view this contract if you need to. Now the cool thing about this contract is you can see how many times they viewed the contract inside of the email, what date it was signed. You can also view the contract here if you should need any of this information in the future. After that contract's signed, you'll also be able to see inside of the calendar that it gets auto-populated on the calendar here. In addition, we have an integration with Google Calendar, so it's going to be sending all of that information back to Google Calendar. As you'll see here, Thursday, December 25th, photo shoot, John Doe. This will send all the information to you. Obviously, you'll get a notification to your phone on the day of the shoot. And this is totally backwards compatible. So if you change the time and date, it will update it inside of the calendar. After the shoot is completed, you can then go back into the projects page and find the project itself. You can either do this using the grid mode, or you can also search for the project here. I'll pull that up. Inside of the project media, you can then attach the media from the project that you shot. We do have internal storage with PhotoCRM at different pricing tiers, but you can also use cloud storage if you choose. What the cloud storage does is it has a direct integration with OneDrive, Google Drive, and Dropbox. What this does is it creates a shareable link. So all the client needs to do is they can click on the link, they can view the folder or the files and download them directly to their device. You can also upload photos and videos that'll be directly attached to this project. For the sake of the demo, I'll just attach this folder here. You can see that this is now attached media. Save the project. After saving, you'll be able to see all the project media that's attached to the specific project. You can also create a professional invoice here. This will store all the client information from the specific project. You can also add additional recipients if more than one person needs to have a copy of the invoice. Business name, email address, phone number, this will all be pulled from your admin configuration that you set up on signup. Different payment methods. This is good for tagging how you're getting paid. You could process payments online via Stripe. You can also do cash payments, check, bank transfer, Venmo, or Zelle. Add an item here. We'll do photos. Perfect. This is your overview of the invoice. You have a couple different options here. You can save it as a draft, create and send it to the client. You can set a tax rate as well. So if I want to set 1.25 tax rate, you can do that. It'll calculate it all for you. And then any additional notes, terms and conditions. These terms and conditions are pulled from the settings as well. If you have specific terms and conditions to your business, you can put them in there. Any invoices that you will send will be attached with those terms and conditions. I want to create and send this one to the client. Says, are you sure? Send the invoice. After you send the invoice, the client will then get an invoice email saying that the invoice is ready for payment. They can then view and pay the invoice. Now, it's important to note, in the original email that they've received, they have gotten a PIN code, which they will need to use for the first time when logging into this site on a device. So after clicking that, they'll be brought to their client portal. Now, the great thing about the client portal is that the client will have access to see everything that you've ever filmed for them, ever shot for them. They will have it all in one place, segmented per project. They'll be able to view all their invoices, their contracts, all of their reference points will be inside of their own portal. And this portal, again, is PIN protected. So you'll see all the media here that we've attached previously inside of the project. You can go ahead and download that. After downloading, the client will then get a zip file with their download inside of it. They can then extract the zip, view the photos, and do what they need with them. They can also go into the actual photo themselves to view them. We do have a viewer and a player for both photos and videos, so it works whichever way. They can download these individually, they can view them, and this is a high-res image, so we're not actually downscaling these. After they view them and accept it, they can leave a feedback and a comment if they want. They can also make the payment directly through Stripe. After processing the payment, the status of that project gets changed to paid. And you'll see down here in the invoices and payments that all invoices have been paid. They can then download the invoice if they need to, which you'll see here. Now, after the invoice is paid, you'll see in the notifications that the invoice is paid. It's also important to mention throughout the creation and process of the project, you'll see the notifications update there too. Click on revenue. You can then see 1234 Test Street is a paid invoice. After payment's made, the invoice then becomes protected. As it's paid, you cannot modify it. You cannot delete that invoice after the payment is made. Inside of your analytics page, you'll then see your revenue actually update with the extra $1 that you paid there. The analytics is just a top-down view of exactly what's going on with your business. It lets you deep dive into seasonal performance, different KPIs, and export your reports as well. It's a very valuable tool. You can see where you're lacking in different services, your top clients, your performance. I also want to show you where that PIN protected portal setting is. If we type in John here for that John Doe we created. Now inside the clients page, as I mentioned before, each client will have a PIN number that's associated with their client portal. You can then go in and type in the client, view the client. You can get their current PIN. You can also hide it, copy it if needed, and then create a new PIN here, which will just update the old one if they forgot it or they want a new PIN. You can also visit the portal directly through here, which again, will take you through. You can see the contracts, the invoices, everything that they have. You can view it, all the agreements that you have under here. Again, thank you for taking the time to learn a little bit about PhotoCRM, how we can help you. If you're interested, you can always sign up for a 14-day free trial. That will stay forever. You get 5 gigabytes of storage. You can play around with the system as you please. And if you have any questions, like I said, please reach out. We're always here to help. Thanks again.